Okay, so this is AMA episode 15. We got some juicy questions from you guys. Thank you so much for those of you in the CT Club who have submitted your questions this past weekend. You guys are great.
Wow, wow, wow.
Okay, here we go. First question. Hey guys, can you explain again how important Bitcoin and crypto itself is as a whole, and how whether it be senators or governments can't stop it? I think it will help reinforce people's commitment to holding BTC and other projects they believe in. I truly believe hyperinflation is here and people have to protect themselves for the future. Absolutely. There's many different reasons and use cases for cryptocurrency when you're comparing it to the legacy financial system and all of its pitfalls. But
there's a lot of pitfalls.
Yeah, but there's a huge takeaway that came when we started doing these videos talking about El Salvador, is the amount of people who are so happy that their government has finally approved it and started integrating it into their system, which of course is great. Like, it's not a bad thing. We're gonna have to see how it evolves and if that changes in the future. This is just, the announcement phase basically.
But Bitcoin's been around for a long time, working amazing without any government.
Despite government. Actually, to spite government.
Governments didn't even know Bitcoin existed years ago.
Yeah.
So, like, it just comes to show that Bitcoin's its own animal. Governments need to hop on to survive.
Yeah.
If they don't hop on Bitcoin, they're done. And I think they realize that. I think, you have to watch out with these presidents and all of these leaders. Guys, they're in position for a reason. They've sucked up to high powers, like with the IMF or the ECB or the Federal Reserve or whatever. And, these people don't have their people's best interests in mind.
No.
So, this is just one example of governments pretty much being desperate and going, okay, I really got to go full on board with Bitcoin, and hey, cool, sweet.
Yeah.
But take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah. Even if they didn't, Bitcoin at least is decentralized enough and robust enough to provide a payment solution for those who want to use it on a voluntary basis. It's kind of, kicking that one all over the place in the last video. Mm-hmm. But like, merchants have been accepting Bitcoin in El Salvador far before any government approved it. So, it's not like this was needed for Bitcoin to be used in El Salvador. That's the whole beauty of it, is that it existed to spite any government because of all of its downfalls of the financial system that they created. So
take this as like a publicity stunt or something, because you don't know their true intentions. I mean, 1 month ago, did you ever hear of the El Salvador president?
Yeah.
Nobody knew his name. So the same thing here is.
And like, also, how many Latin countries came through right after this announcement saying they're going to do the same thing? Panama, Mexico, Paraguay.
Exactly.
So many others.
Yeah.
And so they're all just kind of jumping on the bandwagon. Obviously, hopefully, this is going to benefit the citizens in some way. Hopefully it's not just a ploy to get all these rich people into their country and then it drives the prices of property up and then the locals are suffering. Hopefully it's more of a gateway for the locals to actually participate in an appreciating asset like Bitcoin and earn some profit and change their life. That's what I'd be most excited for, obviously.
Yeah, and a lot of these people, they have dragged their currency through the mud over the past decades. I think the El Salvador president, he's only been around since 2019. Mm-hmm. But hey, this is a good step in the right direction. I'm happy for the El Salvador people. Like you said, I hope they actually come out ahead instead of just being drowned out more. So. Yeah.
Okay.
Next one.
Covering the next question. Off-topic question. How do you all manage living abroad while away from your family? How did they feel when you moved? I've been wanting to move from the U.S., but I don't want my family to feel abandoned.
You go first.
Yeah. Huge change. But for me, it was definitely a personal decision. You only have one life. So I want to live mine the best way that I can. I'm very fortunate to have a family who is very loving and understanding and, you know, accepting of that choice. And they didn't want to be, you know, like holding me back or keeping me in a place that I didn't want to live, especially if I had the means and the motivation to live somewhere else. Furthermore, it provides them a great excuse to travel the world, to come visit me and Toby wherever we are. You know, obviously keeping in touch is not quite the same as, you know, visiting every day face to face. That's definitely been hard. But I don't know. I mean, I found that the communications I have with my family now, actually being apart, are much more in depth and meaningful because I don't take it for granted anymore. Getting a little emotional, not emotional, but getting a little personal here, but it is what it is. And I mean, Toby is my husband, so, you know, we're family, obviously, and going forward. So I think at some point you gotta, you know, make some moves and live the life that you want, because you only have one. And I think that's something to be taken very seriously.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's good, you know, once you get married, you know, you are one, and then you have, you leave your father and mother, and you go with your wife. And so, you know, I'm not going to, I've tried to talk my mom into Bitcoin and, you know, traveling a little more, but, you know, I can't change somebody like that. You know, they have to want it themselves. So with that said, I'm going, you know, I'm not going to waste my life waiting for somebody else to come along with me. I'm a leader. I'm not a follower, you know. So like, if you don't want to follow me, fine, then see you later, you know. I love her, you know, I love my mom, hope she does well and stuff. I try to make sure that, you know, she stays healthy and, you know, that she stays covered in terms of financial independence and stuff, because I'll help her out, even though she's not involved with Bitcoin or whatever.
We got your back.
So yeah, but with that said,
yeah.
I just, hopefully she comes visit sometime.
Yeah. And let's give it, okay, so shout out to my family. Love you guys. I know you're watching out there at some point. So Mom, Dad, Theo, Tommy, Jill, love you guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Love you, Mom. See if you watch this show.
Next question. Okay. Hello, could you explain what you would do if you had, for example, $50K to spend on crypto with $25K of it already invested in long-term coins, these being Ethereum, Cardano, and Bitcoin? What would you do with the other ones? If you had half of it if you had $50K, half of it in Ethereum, Cardano, Bitcoin, what would you do with the other half?
Get some Solana, Matic, Aave, Filecoin, Monero, and I would choose Binance because I think that it's going to be around a long time. I think the CEO is very motivated and nothing's going to stop him. So I'm like, all right, well, I might as well profit off that.
Yeah.
Heidi would probably disagree a little bit, but
I have thoughts, but it's okay.
Yeah.
I generally
keep them to yourself, Heidi.
I second everything that you said. That's not what this channel is about,
Sure.
Toby. Okay, next question. Would you wait for the next short dip to dig these up at discount, invest in short-term coin in hopes for a greater return, or wait for the next bear run to buy at a big discount? Again, I understand this isn't financial advice, but I wanted to see what your preferred strategy would be. Thank you so much. First, what I want to say first about the second one you listed, invest in a short-term coin in hopes for a greater return. That by far is like the riskiest option, especially looking at Bitcoin as gaining its dominance again. I think altcoins are going to be suffering. What do you think?
Who knows? I don't care. I'm just like, I'm dollar cost averaging. I mean, that's what I've done, dollar cost averaging for pretty much every day for 8 years. Heidi's done it for
some point,
about 7 years
some
or
form
something
or
like
another.
that. Yeah, and so like literally I was putting, now dollar cost averaging, I should say every day. So for instance, like if I had $5 one day, and I wanted to like just do it at the end of the week, I would save it every day for like 5 or 6 days or whatever, then I would buy. So that still is daily dollar cost averaging, in my opinion. I mean, you're still saving that money each day,
Like
a certain amount.
based on your daily.
Yeah.
But
And so, like, man, I've done better than 95% of people in Bitcoin because I've done that, because we've done that. We've killed it.
And
so
that's the beauty of like a brand new asset class like this, going through price discovery, is if you have a long-term perspective, you really don't have to worry so much about, timing the market perfectly. Obviously, you can scoop up more at a discount. So what we've been doing, at least lately, especially if you're in the CT club, so you would know our trade alerts have been, buying the dips when we see them. So we've done pretty well with that.
Yeah. And also, like, we do put out trade alerts of, certain coins that are a little more risky or whatever. But I mean, they've done really flipping well. Like, amazing.
Yeah. Basically, if you're asking for our strategy, you can see it in our trade alerts. We've been buying the dips when they pop up, taking advantage of it.
Like a lot. So it's been great, especially if you have a cash flow coming in. I mean, it's fantastic. Right now is fantastic time to buy Bitcoin, in my opinion.
A super easy way to get a cash flow if you don't have one that's already within the crypto space, so you don't have to deal with a fiat on-ramp and go through KYC, is by using staking coins. It's a great way to earn a passive income and use those coins, to get into other positions if you want. So, yeah.
Plenty of ways.
Okay, now for the last question and the namesake of this video. Here we go, Toby. Is Solana still a good buy at the $30 to $40 range? And how will Solana hold up against Cardano in the long term? Thank you.
Okay, well, Solana, I think it's a good buy in the 30 to 40 range. Sure. I mean, especially if it is even going to be a slight competitor to Ethereum. I mean, look at Ethereum's market cap and compare it to Solana. Solana's got a long way to go, especially if it does take a bit of that market share. Okay, so Solana also, the downside, which I think Cardano has a lot of upside to it, is running a node. Much, did I say much, cheaper and easier with Cardano than Solana. That's one of Solana's biggest hiccups, I think, is how much it costs to run a node.
Especially if you're looking the long term, is you want it to be as accessible as possible, so then the network continues to become more decentralized as possible. That's how it is robust and stands up against things like governments that might want to shut it down or whatever. So yeah, definitely pros and cons here against Solana and Cardano, but what else?
Sure, but and also, Cardano's been around for a long time. Charles has been around since...
He's been around the block.
Oh, yeah.
He's a youngin', but he's been around the block.
Solana's pretty new. So keep that in mind as well. Charles is a very smart man. You can see what he's done with his projects. He has a lot of experience. So does the Solana team as well, but they just need to prove themselves even more, obviously.
In the crypto space.
Yeah. Now, Cardano is not a working product right now, whereas Solana is.
That's huge.
But, if Cardano pulls through, which I think they will, I think Cardano will do amazing, especially with, their transaction speeds. It should be very close to, or even more so than Solana. And especially when they're coming out with, I think it's Goguen, right, with their smart contracts. I think that should do really well.
I mean, I think one thing to pay attention to regarding the smart contracts is it's going to have to be released on the testnet first. So that's going to take some time, as usual, before it actually gets released to the main net. So I mean, I feel like a lot of people are, July, whatever, this summer, it's going to come out. It's going to come out to the testnet first.
Sure.
Before anything.
Yeah. What would be cool if Cardano had something like Polkadot has, which is Kusama, their testnet, and actually make it and tokenize it. So it really incentivizes people to go ahead and use it and to create different things on Cardano and test it out.
But in the meantime, Solana already has a growing ecosystem where people are actually using it. And so, they're getting not only the benefit of the users actually having experience using the platform, having hopefully a good experience with it, but they're learning from their users all this time before Cardano as well. So Yeah, I mean, it's not a race. It's all for the benefit of us as the end user, right? Because whichever one is better, we're going to be using, and it's going to be for our benefit.
Yeah,
so.
I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I like Solana. I like using Radium.
Yeah.
And farming on there is really easy. It's super cheap. And I'm looking forward to Cardano. Like, I really, come on, guys,
We've been
get it
holding
out.
it for how many, like almost 4 years now. So.
So please hurry up with this stuff. You know, like let's get it going. And I really can't wait to try this.
Yeah.
Gosh, especially their smart contracts. That'd be great, and start farming on it. Oh man, that's great. I'm excited.
Yeah. Well, we're going to end on that note. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. If you enjoy these AMA sessions, we appreciate it if you hit that like button and hit subscribe. And if you want to submit questions, be a part of our CT Club. It's more than just sending in questions for AMA. You get access to our portfolio. You get access to our trade alerts, classes that go through a lot of important information for you if you are new to cryptocurrency to help you navigate this space like a pro. In addition, it's grown into like almost 2,000 members now it's a really solid community and everyone's sharing their experiences and learning off each other. It's pretty cool.
Really great people, and we're probably going to create a Discord very soon, so that we have a huge community already. Which is beyond what I could have ever guessed that it would have done.
So for those of you who are in the CT Club and you already voiced interest in being a moderator for the Discord, watch out for an email coming to you this week because I'm setting it up. So
woohoo! I'm actually really excited about that. Cool. And so stay disobedient and don't follow the sheep. Follow our channel instead, and so you'll be way awake. I'm just kidding. See you guys.
Bye.